Okay, so you're watching part 2 of our spoiler talk review. Where were we exactly?
I think when we last left off, we were going to jump in and talk about Finn and Rose's plot, their little subplot.
Oh yes. Okay, so Finn and Rose, they end up going on an adventure to what planet was it?
I mean, I don't remember the name of the planet.
I don't remember. There's too many things. It's Star Wars, just like
It looked like
you can't
Las
keep up.
Vegas is what it looked like.
And yeah. That's why I was thinking of that when I was watching it. And
There's like a little short alien who like sticks a bunch of coins inside BB-8. He thinks he's a slot machine.
that was hilarious. Yeah, and I think a lot of those characters that were shown there were actually puppets. And I was thinking, did we mention before that the Yoda was a puppet? And say he's a fake puppet. Yes. Thank you for not making CGI. Thank you for making him a puppet like he was a children. Okay. This will get on. Get away with that too much though. Freaking Yoda, man. Yeah. Okay. We just renamed this the Yoda video.
The Yoda
Okay.
video. I can see another Yoda video.
Okay, but let's get back on track though. Okay, so they're at the casino, and a Donald Trump shows up.
Oh, this city's gonna be huge. Man, this city's gonna be huge. This planet is huge.
No, why is everybody so hard at the first order before they're trying to let the guys great again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. We apologize. Let's get back on track. Okay, so they go there and they meet those kids who kind of enslaved, basically forced to make weapons to sell to the first order, and
They have to take care of these horse-like creatures.
right, and Finn and Rose end up stealing them because they're trying to find the Codemaster, who was recommended to them that they can help break the code because they figured out there was that they had a tracking device on their main ship that was tracking the main ship with the resistance. That's how they were able to find it even in light speed, and so they're given that by Moss. Yeah, that's your name. That's the name of the bit of the script. I'm glad if I got that right. They talk to her via hologram, and they don't find the actual Codemaster that she suggested. They instead end up taking the risk and letting this kind of sleazy criminal who claims that he can crack the code. I mean, he's basically like Jabba the Hutt or a smuggler. He's just the kind of gambler. The gambler
stutters like he's.
yeah, he does. It's like so he's played by Benicio del Toro.
Is it bad if I say it's not one of his better roles?
Well, I liked him in the movie. Actually, I thought his character was interesting. I thought he actually added to the story and made it more interesting, though.
Yeah, to me, he was Lando White.
He reminds me a little bit of Lando. Obviously, I like Lando better, but no, I still like this character. What was the character's name though? I don't actually remember.
I don't think we ever did hear his name. I think they just referred to him as the code breaker.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah, I mean, they found a code breaker, they didn't find the code breaker. Yeah, I don't think his name was ever said. I really don't think so.
Well, I mean, we'll see him in the next film. Maybe the future out some more. Yeah, because you're not the only one that didn't care too much for his character. I mean, some of the critics mentioned not being the biggest fan. I was scared of the movie, but they loved everything else about the movie. But he was that one thing. Oh, the irony. So everybody is okay with the Porgs and even the Crystal Critters, which we'll talk a little bit more about later.
Crystal Critters are adorable. I want to keep one.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I wouldn't mind want to keep one of the Porgs, but apparently, this is the tourist who everybody was cared for. I guess I'll be in the minority of people that actually like his character, but
he's
no.
Okay, he's just not that great, and he's kind of a.
So what? So I guess he's Jar Jar Binks and Zero the Hutt instead of the Porgs and the Crystal Critters.
That's the idea.
That's all, folks. Well, actually, no, it's not all.
That's all, folks.
We got plenty more to
we still got
say.
more to go.
Well,
Yeah, I know all you out there are like, oh, great, they're done talking. No, sorry to disappoint. We still got more to say.
The porgs and the crystal crittles, they're both handled very well in the film. There's not an overdose of them, so that's the main reason why the porgs and the crystal crittles, mainly the porgs right now though weren't really too enormous because of that, because they weren't in an overabundance, and they weren't terribly annoying. They were just cute to be. And we mentioned before that they do become kind of a bomb with Chewie. Even Chewie acts a little bit annoying to those. It's like Chewie was eating, and then one of them was like, I guess he wanted to feel how he was a dog. It kind of reminds me of how Poe captures BB-8 like a dog. He didn't want to see his movie. He's like, there's my George. Like, and it was over though. But you know the George can be kind of like pictures that way. That's the way R2D2 was too, kind of. To Luke, and but Chewie does still get kind of annoying at times though. Like one of them is out the fact of he roars and is they're gonna about him, and he's like whoa, and he just knocks him over, he just knocks him aside. And there's one thing where the gravity causes him to hit against the windshield because they're going hyperspeed, and it's just. It's hilarious. But I like how the porgs do form a little bit of bond with Chewie. It's like Chewie needs some new fans, with Han Solo gone is right now at least. It's good to have the porgs. Like, I guess that they're sort of like his new companions and best friends. Well, I guess besides Rey and R2 and all of them. So Finn and Rose, going back to them, and the Benicio del Toro, they go back and they try to sneak into Force Order's main base, and Finn and Rose and the Benicio disguise themselves as generals, and they cover BB-8 up with a box, and they pretend he's a box that they're carrying, and they Finn and Rose get separated from Benicio temporarily, and then Benicio gets caught, and then he sells them out. This is how he's like Lando. He sells them out. He makes a deal. He gives them the ship back that he and BB-8 have stolen, like at the casino. And he gets some goals from that. Of course, he's already bugging the coke form though, at least. So he at least into that form though. But of course he also gave them the coordinates, and never mind, that didn't really help though. And they're tracking down their base, and Captain Phasma shows up, and he's ready. Not he, she. I'm so sorry. She is ready to basically Finn and Rose both. And of course, there's that explosion, and then the thing gets back up, and he goes after Phasma. They have a big battle, and it's epic. It's really awesome. And I'm not the biggest fan of Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma was my least favorite thing really about the Force Awakens as a whole. Mainly because she didn't do a lot. Does she do more in this one? Yeah, she's still not in the movie a lot, but yeah, she does do more when she is on screen. So they do it out, and then he knocks her over, and he makes a hole through her mouth, so you see the corner of her eye, and then of course there's another explosion, and she falls off, and she falls into the fire, and bye-bye. And I actually said that when we were watching. I was like, yeah, I'm tired of you, Phasma. Bye-bye, seriously. Yeah,
I
bye.
said offended that I turned you and said top 10 saddest anime deaths.
Yeah, that actually might be my second favorite scene in that movie. Like my second favorite part after Yoda, which is just Yoda. And it might be tossed up between it and and when Kylo axes Supreme Leader Snoke. They're both really awesome in different ways.
Top 10 saddest anime deaths. That's another one.
So then Luke finally shows up to help them. He tells Leia he's sorry. They have a good heart to heart. Or he says that he's gonna go face Kylo, and he says to Leia, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can save him. I mean, I was able to save Vader, but me and Vader had a different connection with the Force than me and Kylo do. And plus, I was the one that kind of crowd Kylo to begin with. And he's still mad at me. He's not gonna listen to me. So he basically shows up, and Kylo's like, fire all these him there. Everybody again, the General Hux, and they do that, and the Kylo just kind of takes over and just more, and then General Hux says, "You think you got her?" Kind of darkly, and then what happens? Luke walks right through, brushes off his shoulder,
just goes like that,
not a scratch. And then he talks to Kylo. Kylo says, have you come here to say you've forgiven me? Have you come to save my soul? And he says, no. And then, what does he say after that?
Well, I think that's when the fight starts, of course. Well, they have a fight, of course, but...
I thought you said that before. Well, anyways, they have the fight. And Kylo keeps trying to get him, and then he moves, and he does like an isometric style, just leaning back, and then something else super epic happens. Kylo Ren comes in to kill him, comes in to stop him, and it just goes right through him. He does it again. It goes right through him. He tells Kylo, strike me down in anger, and I was with you. Do just like a father. Kylo Ren gets raised again. He said, Kylo says, you're too late. The resistance will not be found, or it will be found. They'll be called the resistance is nearly dead. What I kill you? The Jedi will be no more. Because he says that before he goes into stop. I should so sorry about that. He says no. It's just building. The war is on the beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi. And what he says, like, you see Rey, and Rey this off with her walk to help. Just to get into a new safe area where they meet the crystal critters, where the crystal critters have relocated, and the crystal critters they're just adorable. They're very cute, and they really don't do much other than they kind of just lead the way of the resistance as they get in, and Luke says you've lost Ben, and see you around, and then he vanishes, and then you see Luke standing on top of the rock, back at the island, and that's how he survived both Kylo stabbing him and the blast, because he wasn't physically there. He wasn't physically present. His soul was there. He was meditating, and he allowed his spirit to come there, and he did it mainly to stop so the resistance could get away, and then Luke is sitting on that rock. The sun comes back out, and the sun's more of a metaphor for you see Luke's hope coming back, and then it shows Leia to look at the sun, and her hope is being restored as well, and then Luke peacefully passes on, and he doesn't ninja style, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're very reminiscent of them, and his clothes fall off as he happens to do. So he dies, but he becomes one with the Force, their afterlife. So he'll be a Force form. They leave it open for maybe he'll come back. I hope he'll come back in the Force Form episode 9, and then we can see him talking to Yoda some more, and Obi-Wan and Anakin finally too, and maybe he'll still get Rey some, and then Rey they talk about Luke is gone. They talk about how they felt it was peaceful and it had a purpose. because he just decided that, he was old, and he just, the last little bit of energy he had left, he used to do that, and it was his time. And they talk about, how are we gonna rebuild the rebellion, and they say, well, and they says, well, we'll find a way. And Rose gets injured trying to save Finn, and then Finn and Ray have a good reunite, and they hug, and they think about taking care of Rose, and then Ray and Poe meet for the first time, and
Yeah, you see, yeah, they do meet. Yeah, you see, that's something you kind of forget. You forget they didn't really have, they didn't really get to officially, say who they were, but to each other. But yeah, they do there. What are you saying though?
yeah. Now, okay. So what's left that we've not done? Make sure that we get the basic meat. Okay, so like you said, it's okay. There's always hope, and we'll find a place, and we'll find a way out, where hopefully someone has got our signal. They see the signal out. You see the kids again. You see one of the kids telling the story of God of Legacy of all these heroes. They're talking about Luke. And then the master comes in and yells at both of them, and then the other one just kind of sneaks away, and he picks up the broom with the force, sweeps the floor, almost like it's an inside joke. It's like, yeah, the movie's over, about to go home. That's what I was thinking, kind of. And then he pulls out the thing that Rose gave, the resistance ring with the symbol on it. Looks up at the sky, sees the signal, looks up, and that's how it ends. Rose the critics, and they do have a nice in memoriam. The picture says in loving memory of our princess, Kay Fisher. And it's very just sentimental and just go like that. Now, if I had to point out one flaw I have in this movie, really the only big one is they only said in memory of Carrie Fisher. There were 3 other Star Wars actors that passed away last year too. They were earlier in the year. We already mentioned one was Eric Beresfield, who put out Mike, who they actually killed off probably because of his death. Now they may have not listed them though, the other ones, because they may have had in memory of them in Rogue One. So Rogue One came out before Carrie Fisher passed away. That one was real stunning. Eric Beresfield passed away earlier that year at the age of 90. He was pretty young. He was like 96, I think, actually. He was a pretty good rapper age. Kenny Baker, who was the original R2-D2, passed away earlier that year. He was a pretty good rapper age too. That he was 81. Well, but he wasn't in these films though. He was because he retired when the Force Awakens was in production, and in the Force Awakens he was actually played by Jimmy V, who was also a midget, and he was also inside the robot patrolling him. So he was R2 in the Force Awakens, Rogue One, and the Last Jedi. And then the last one passed away. Had a cameo for editing in Rogue One. It was the editing. It was the one that they called Red Palette, which I forget the name of the actor. I apologize. He was a pretty minor character in A New Hope, and he passed away at the age of 75 from the character. So I wish they would have mentioned them too, though. But hey, they mentioned Carrie. That was the biggest, most difficult one. I'm glad they mentioned her. But yeah, the movie was great. We loved it. We enjoyed it. We have a blast with it, and we loved all the plot twists, the turns. Even though it was a doozy to sit here and talk about the law, though. But yeah, they were all great, and they all just had you edge of your seat, had you excited. But I'm still wondering who's stuck, because I don't know if we'll ever know. Because I'd be okay without seeing him again. It's funny. It's like, as much as I love this character, I still cheer when he died, because it's just like how you cheer when Palpatine dies. It's just like you find. And Phasma was the biggest fan, but I was just ready to see her go. It's like bye bye. So there's about 5 character deaths in this one. This one probably has the biggest death count, or at least next to Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. But in that one, a lot of the characters that die more than different characters. They either get blown up or are axed by Anakin after he becomes Vader or Palpatine. There's about five major character deaths. The biggest one being the Kors, who they do leave it open for for him to appear again. I think he most definitely will appear again, and we'll see when it again. Hopefully, that's my theory on that regards. I don't know, Akbar also dies. He probably dies. He probably won't be back because he's after passed away in real life. They just decided to kill him off in a respectful manner, honorably. Saving the day, even though they could easily replace them, but I can respect them for deciding no, we'll just move on past his character. He had a good run after since Eric Rose passed, and then speaking there stuff, I seen him already, but I'll say you never say enough. Supreme Leader Stowe, Captain Phasma, that's four. Is there right? Luke Akbar is the biggest two really, and then Snoke is a big one. Phasma, and Rose ambiguously dies. I'm not sure. She may just be injured like Finn was the last movie. I'm not sure Finn actually. Rose actually. I'm not sure Rose actually dies. But before characters die, at least though. Okay. And they're all handled very well. It's just epic and intense. And but we should try to wrap this up. But talk about other possible fan theories. We won't talk about too many because we have 2 years to talk about that. We have fair times to talk about that in other videos though. But one big theory, but besides the one I already mentioned about, we'll probably see Luke in his fourth form next film, and then Yoda again, and Obi-Wan, and again hopefully. Another one, of course, is Han Solo could possibly come back in Episode 9, especially if the Han Solo movie does end up tying in with the film, which it could vary. There's also the question about were Rey's parents really know about it. I mean, one theory was that she was related to Obi-Wan Kenobi, either her daughter, but she probably was too young to be his daughter, more like granddaughter. And actually, I noticed something else. Did you notice that when she put her hand on the glass in the water, when she trying to see her parents, you start to see two shadows, and then you see one shadow kind of forms together. And did you think that looked a little bit like Obi-Wan Kenobi just for a split second? Because I thought that. Surely I was wrong thinking that. And then it just turns into her, and then it breaks. Yeah. And she's disappointed. So were they hinting that was Obi-Wan Kenobi? Maybe. I mean, you know.
Said that if Kylo knows and Kylo's lying,
there's a good chance Kylo was just lying because he was trying to turn to his side. There's a very good chance. I mean, and Kylo is named after Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's named to be. Yeah, they could be.
Yes.
So that's another thing that hints Obi-Wan appear again. Could they be related somehow? They could be cousins. They could be sisters. Maybe Harley had another daughter somehow that they don't know is right because maybe they had to give it up or who knows? I mean they would explain it somehow. And or Luke's daughter, and Luke doesn't know about it because maybe he had a affair with someone a long time ago. Maybe that's how it happened. Just like how Obi-Wan had a scene with that woman. If you've seen the Clone Wars show, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people theorize that that's how Rey eventually came to be. Yeah, maybe her parents that sold her were just her adoptive parents, or who knows what. Who knows? It's unpredictable at this point, really. And the other theory that I want to bring up is first I want to say do you think that the Kylo will turn back to the light side? At this point, it's very unpredictable. I think there's a good chance he will turn because he had a reason to keep Rey alive later on. I mean, you see.